Oi, oi! Homelander don't kill me wife and took me only son.
Yeah, that was the best 12 minutes of my life. Taking your
All
wife
right.
from you. Just kidding.
Uh, all right, Justin. So what is
So,
the book you for us? Is it The Boys?
no, I'm actually gonna save the audience trouble on that because I think they all half of them already know and half of them don't know, and those half that don't know, uh, you're safe.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
The book that I have is Hellboy. Obviously, it's in my what you may call it,
Mm-hmm.
book collection because I prefer to keep it there.
Sure. Sure.
But the Hellboy short stories collector's book is filled with Hellboy stories, but um, involving Hellboy between book one and book two. Short stories that take place while Hellboy is going on his many different investigation and adventures.
Oh, so it's like
It's like
it's not a
filler
like a
stories.
oh, okay, okay. So it's like
Yeah, yeah.
Hellboy started as short stories that were kind of
Well,
anthological.
it started off with the mainline story, but
Uh-huh.
then just to get people well acquainted with the character and this universe that they're in, they did the filler stories first.
Oh, so like what are the most prominent stories that like people should know in this collection?
Hmm. There's this one story where I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm a little bit pissed off that
Oh, why?
uh that they because here's the thing. Hellboy 2019, obviously that was shit. um, they did a story in there involving like a vampire like looking monster at the beginning of the movie.
Mhm.
Uh, that story in the comic book was actually a lot more emotional than it was funny.
Oh, damn. Oh, so in the movie it's like played up for laughs and shit.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, they got some parts of it right. Like it's a Mexican fighter, but the difference in the comic book is there were three Mexican fighters and they were all brothers.
So what's the story? What's it called first of all?
I forgot the name.
Oh, that's totally cool. Well, it's Hellboy, Mike Mignola does the writing and the artwork. Is that for the majority of the series that he does the artwork? Because I know it kind of interchanges at times.
Yeah, I think it stops when Hell on Earth starts, the
Hmm.
comic book series. So yeah,
Yeah, well, you have a first issue of Hellboy, and
signed.
it's signed and it's certified. Um, Wait, I remind me the story behind you getting that because I know you're a big Hellboy fan and that was a big moment for you
Let me go get it
getting
real
that.
quick. Let me go get it
Yeah,
real
yeah,
quick.
go get it. I'm gonna serenade the audience. See, Justin here is big on Hellboy. He is so unbelievably big on Hellboy that he has a tattoo in his inner thigh of Hellboy, of the BPRD logo. That's how, and Abe Sapien near his grundle area, as it were. Is very
I'm gonna
impressive.
detest to the past two. I have not gotten any more tattoos yet, but I do want to get my right arm done with Hellboy pictures. But here we go.
Oh, look at that thing here. Let me get out of the way. You want to angle it a little bit?
Yeah,
Here. So it's seeded destruction. Seeded destruction. Oh shit. And what grading is it?
it's a grade 9.6.
9.6.
That's
Oh my
that's as
God.
close as it's gonna get. This is the highest I think I've seen.
And you're never taking that out.
Nope, nope. This is staying in like
Oh my
forever.
God. What is it
And
about Hellboy that it really speaks to you? Because I know this is maybe your favorite comic book character. This is for sure your favorite
No,
book
yeah, this is
in
my favorite
comics.
comic book character. I like him because in a way I can kind of uh the way how he looks, I can sympathize with him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Feeling he's not really accepted and accepted for the way how he looks, the way how he's, different from others. I can feel that I could feel and, recognize that energy.
Yeah, he's kind of got that crap, take it or
Yeah.
leave it attitude. Like, oh
Yeah.
man, if you got a problem with the horns, then get fucked, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you when you read it, do you hear Ron Perlman's voice?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, like that's the definitive voice in my opinion for Hellboy.
yeah. Well, how long has Hellboy been going on? Is the series still being produced and everything?
It's still being made, the comics, and it started uh
Like
uh
late
uh
90s, right?
yeah, like late 90s. The comic itself didn't even start, like I think like 1990 97.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wow. Oh my God. Gee, that's 27 years. Holy shit.
His first ever appearance, I think, was like in the 80s.
Oh,
Uh,
really?
yeah, his first ever, like the first time anyone's ever thought of Hellboy was like during the 80s, during like I think like some kind of like Italian version of Comic Con.
Oh, really? What
Yeah.
was Mignola there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are very few books where it shows like his first ever appearance,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, that costs a leg and a limb.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, that's like historic. That's like the first sketch of the turtles, like the Ninja Turtles and everything. You know,
Yeah,
that's crazy. So wait, it was a book because you said it was at a Comic Con in Italy. Is it a book or is it like a sketch? Like what
it's a
Mignola?
book.
What? It's a book. Well,
Yeah,
okay,
it's a
wow.
book.
And
And
it's
the first
Hellboy.
time, and the first time he's ever appeared in a comic book was, I think, in a comic book series called Next.
Next.
Yeah,
Wow. Jesus, that's insane.
which I'm not gonna lie to you is a lot more than what I paid for this.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's whenever I come to your place and I see that thing, it's always like glistening, it's beautiful, it's vibrant, like it's encased, it's saved,
hmm
you
I
know?
I don't even mess with it. Like this is one of the rare instances where I ever like take it off the damn pedestal.
Well, you did see Mike Mignola in the flesh.
Sadly, no.
You haven't?
No. Remember that one year that I thought I was going to meet him? I did
Yeah.
not do enough research and found out that he was going to be there on a day that I would be working.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Oh
so
my God.
now I gotta fucking figure out how I'm gonna meet this guy officially.
That's the goal.
Yeah, that's the goal. Hey, but you know what? That's okay because a couple months ago during Monster Palooza, I got to see Michael Ironside.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember seeing Michael Ironside, dude. We
like
were like
I
looking at each other.
like you saw the face I made. I was like, is that fucking Michael Ironside?
Yeah,
I was
that's
like, holy
Michael
shit.
Ironside.
I'm
Dude, I
meeting
was
the
freaking out
general in
also.
real life.
Yeah, the General and Dark Side.
Yeah.
Dude, he had this whole line at the Monster Palooza in
He
the at the Paseo, and
he had a
like there were
whole
these
ass
guys making
line.
some, yeah, and he's just like in his own little space on in the hallway and everything, and uh there's like a whole line and there's some sort of ruckus. I'm not listening to the whole thing, but I'm just like, that's Michael fucking Ironside. The line should be longer. And he tells like he's like focused on signing the shit and getting paid and everything. And he tells the people in his line, settle down. And I was like, holy shit, dude, this guy's about to blast him with some optic blasts, omega beams.
See that like that's the thing when you see like that's the difference maker when you see an actual legend in front of you. That's what I want to. That's the feeling I want to get when I see Mike Mignola.
Yeah, it's gonna be greater, I think. You know what's
Oh,
funny?
dude, it's gonna be greater. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. You know what's funny about you saying Michael Ironside is that he could have easily done a voiced Hellboy at some point. He should have.
I could easily see that in like an animated show.
Yeah.
I think he would be a pretty good of a voice actor for Hellboy.
Yeah, he's got that fucking presence, those cojones, the dark side vibe.
Or you know what? Or actually, no, 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 no. I was thinking maybe like for
Channing
a
Tatum.
pretty good convincing voice for like Rasputin, but then I'm like, nah. I think I would probably prefer like a Russian accent or something.
Yeah, for sure. For a Russian actor. Now, before we move on to the next book, is there anything lastly you want to say about Hellboy, what you think about it, what you think about the future of Hellboy since it's still going on and everything?
Okay, so the first movie, uh, now that I've read a little bit more of the comics, and believe me, I have like a shit ton of fucking comics that I'm still reading.
Yeah,
Literally.
because you have Hellboy adjacent, you have BPRD, Abe Sapien, dude. You have it all, man.
um uh the first movie, it was mostly accurate as it followed mostly the mainline story of Hellboy.
Mhm.
Literally with his conflict with his destiny and Rasputin. That was kind of like the similar one that we got close to a comic accurate like Hellboy uh, movie. However, the other ones, I mean, not so much. The 2019 one was okay, but then went off the fucking rails.
What about the
However,
Golden Army?
actually, that one was never in the books.
Oh, really? It's its own thing.
It's its own thing, which
Oh, wow.
I kind of like because it,
Yeah.
it it puts its own spin.
Oh,
Now,
sick. Okay.
this new one called Hellboy the Crooked Man, that one is literally ripped right out of the comic books.
Hmm.
Um, uh, Primarily because it's one of those short stories I told you about,
Right.
where it follows Hellboy going up into a town, I think like in Maine, where apparently there's been like this like kind of like Salem witch kind of thing going on.
Oh, okay.
And like this supernatural entity called the Crooked Man, which I guess you could say is like kind of like an equivalent to like a devil when really I think he's just a demon.
Yeah.
But that's the one where I'm thinking like, you know what, the trailers that I've seen for this one, I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks oddly CGI, but
Yeah.
um
Looks kind of cheap. I'm sorry.
yeah, that's the thing that's getting me. Like it looking kind of cheap. But one thing I will say, just looking at the trailer, it looks very like accurate to what the story is trying to say.
Okay, I mean that's fair, and I'm sure because you're the biggest Hellboy fan I know, I'm sure you appreciate that, and who knows, maybe it will be good despite, the production aspects that it has going against it. Because I
I mean,
mean,
if you think about it, this is
it's
the
tough,
first
right?
I mean, if you think about it, this is probably one of the first Hellboy films that's really going to include the horror that some
Right.
fans have been really waiting for, especially specifically me. But I guess you could say that's why people are kind of like taking a step back from it. But other than that, like I think this one has potential, but we'll see.
we'll see, man. I mean, there was a time where Guillermo del Toro was making these films,
Oh
and those
yeah.
movies have such scale. He's a visionary. He's like those movies, even if you don't love them, because I don't love them. I think they're fun. They are incredible to look at.
Dude,
The
yeah.
production, the makeup, the music, the performances. I think it is incredible. It's Guillermo, you know what I mean? He's perfect. He loved Hellboy when no one knew what it was back in the 90s. And pro- he is very responsible for it becoming the icon
Oh
within the
yeah.
indie scene that it is. Um, so
It's one of
I
the
love, yeah.
it's one of the many reasons why like more and more fans they're starting to like, starting to have views outside of Marvel and DC.
Yeah, yeah. Image and Dark Horse are great places to start if you're looking for um indie stuff for
Hell
comic
yeah.
books.
When
And yeah.
people got done of Marvel and DC, like some of them found Spawn, some of them found Hellboy or Invincible or like a bunch of other damn comics. And The Boys
Yeah.
for those that are hardcore.
It's like the boys. If you're a dynamite fella.
Oh
Uh
yeah. If you're a
um
dynamite fellow like Brian,
yeah, like
I see
Brian.
you,
Oh
Brian.
my God. Brian, that fool, he loves the boys too much, dude. IDW also, who've done they've been carrying the torch for the turtles.
Specifically, The Last Ronin, and
Hmm.
uh, uh, they they fucked it up pretty good.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get you on the Last Ronin podcast when we get
Oh,
there. I'm gonna get a whole crew, a whole family,
thank
brothers.
you.
All right, for sure. You're in it, because I know how you are about the turtles. But yeah. Before we move on, we should have gotten Hellboy 3 a long time ago.
Oh yeah. No doubt in that. No doubt in that.
It is a sin. That's it. God damn it.
The
Now,
sin.
before we get in, speaking of sins, before we get into the book I brought, I want to tell a quick story about our dear friend Miles when we went to
Oh no.
Monster Palooza, and you were there for
This man
for
was
when this happened.
traumatized.
This man was traumatized when we're walking around Monsterpalooza, which is a great convention, little small horror convention in Pasadena. We're walking around the aisles, seeing all the different horror icons, the makeup tutorials, people getting their faces played with, cosplay all over the place, toys,
Legendary actors.
legendary actors. Michael Ironside, the actor who played Pinhead was there. Candyman was there. Um, I always forget that actor's name, but icons to the left of me, to the right of me. And what happens is that we run to this comic book vendor who has all these different books, not just comics, books about film, art, and everything. And there's a sealed box there, like a long box that says 18 and up. And our friend Miles, our dear friend Miles, he can't help himself. He opens the box, he does his little thing, he picks one up. Holy shit. And it's one of the erotic comic books that he looks to me and he says, I didn't know they made books like this. He turns into
No, he
Shaggy.
fucking knows. No, he knew. He knew, and he just tried to fucking play it off.
Well, what do you think is behind his reaction to that? Do you think it was performative? Do you think it was genuine? What do you think was going through his head when he saw the erotic comic
I
books?
couldn't, I couldn't, I couldn't believe it. Okay, like I'm sorry, Miles, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, but like, dude, I didn't buy that one fucking second. All right, not for one bit. Okay, like that that was bullshit, Miles.
He's a connoisseur.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, like don't get me wrong, we love you, man. But for fuck's sake, I did not buy that for one second.
There's no way. If you know Jacob, our friend Jacob, you know about this stuff, okay?
Oh no, Jacob knows this 100%.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, it was hilarious to watch his reaction though, try to play it off like, oh, because his girlfriend was there. It's like, what is this? Oh, losing it.
He tried
Losing
to
it.
make it like a little bit too genuine too.
Honestly, dude, like it's like, hey man, because I know he wanted to buy some. And the guy started to sell to him. It was like trying to pitch him. It's like, yeah, man, those are rare. You want to pick those up before someone else comes in? I'll give you a good deal, and you can read them in private and shit. And
Which goes
Miles
to tell
began to
you that the
sweat.
seller was not making any sales.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that long box was filled up, dude. But Miles began to sweat. It was that meme from Key and Peele where the guy's sweating.
Miles, what are
It
we
was
gonna do
awesome.
with you?
It's
I don't know what
Miles.
we gotta do with you.
What are we gonna do with you, Miles? I swear, I knew nothing.
I
Bullshit.
swear.
Were you tempted to buy some? Because I was.
No, I was not.
All right, well, I'll buy it. Okay.
Believe me when I
Let's.
say this, I would not want to walk out of that building with a picture of hentai in my damn hands, and then somebody looking at me and saying like, "Oh, so you're one of them."
Nani?
uh,
They catch you.
I can explain.
Like that SpongeBob episode. I can explain. They catch you with the hentai, and then you just go, oh.
Oh, oh no. Just try
Okay.
to play,
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
just try to play it off, like Sebastian. Like, what?
What? How could
I
you ever think?
He just tries to fucking act like Leonidas during 300. I never heard of that. I never heard of such orders.
Sebastian gets caught with the hentai and says,
And
yes.
he's wearing the fucking 300 clothing.
Oh my god. Dressed as a Spartan?
Finding out the Spider-Man 4 news.
Ah, what a great issue. Classic Spider-Man. Man, I love it when Spider-Man is just New York, the villains, MJ, the Daily Bugle. It gets me excited for the next Spider-Man film. Now that Tom's set up to be street-level Peter Parker, let's look into what's going on with Spider-Man 4. I bet it's great. Multiverse, but in multiverse, I love you guys. Spider-Man, home's away. Spider-Man, homeworld, no way home again. Spider-Man, far from home again. Spider-Man, where's my home? Spider-Man, who's Spider-Man for Spider-Man.